I think it'll be a really interesting game. Skaven versus Skaven.
And both teams do play a red ogre. Some would say that is cocky. Some would say you need the removal power. I'd be interested to see what happens here.
I'm also going to pause pretty much straight away.
All right.
I'm gonna go to the
kickoff or
actual, yeah, just after the kickoff.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go there as well. So I'll have a look at the skills.
Yeah, I'm having a look at that as well. So he's got. So I'm currently looking from Tector's point of view.
All right, I'm at the kickoff.
I'm slowly getting there because I accidentally fast forwarded it too far. So Endro won the. Right, so Sneaky Vermin is Sneaky Vermin Spider, or the coach names aren't actually the coach names?
Tector is on Sneaky Vermin and Endro is Spider, right?
Okay, yes. Alright, so kickoff, there's a blitz. DBBL2 gets a blitz. So I'm gonna pause it for a sec so I can have a look at the teams before we go on to that. But that's already very bad news.
And look at where the ball goes. That's just...
Especially the way that they've actually set up the team.
Yeah, indeed.
So, Endro, who is Spider. So Spider has only one guard rat, I think?
Yep.
Yeah, so while Tector has 2 guard rats, Spider has 1. For some reason my skills aren't showing up. Pressing control, but it's not.
Maybe it's because you paused the game. It could be that.
Possibly. Alright, so I'll stop the pause. So Spider's decided to put a runner right underneath that ball and is starting a cage.
Yeah, that's as bad as it gets when you are the one that has to play the offense, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because that can ruin your entire half.
Completely. This is why I do like the kick skill on teams that I play, because if your opponent is as cocky with his defensive line up as I think Endro is, right? So it's Spider's team that is in the offense?
Spider's team is in the defense.
Oh, it's in defense. Okay.
Spider's in defense. Oh wait, no. Sorry. Is Spider is? I thought you said Spider was Endro. Why not have the names be the same?
I don't know, to confuse us.
Straight up, a rat ogre falling over, failing a 50% dodge. Yes, Katsu, we have a co-caster. I don't actually know which is which. Give me a sec. I can actually have a look at who it is.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused by that red ogre dodge, actually.
Yeah, I don't understand. It may have been a misclick.
Yeah, perhaps because you felt the pressure of the blitz, right?
I mean, looking at this straight away, I would say it looks like Endro has it in the bag.
Yeah,
like it's a long game. It's a long game, but that's the kind of thing that can completely screw you right at the beginning.
And the least thing that it does to you is to put you under pressure. I mean, if you're a Skaven, you know you can score, but if you have Skavens as your opponent, you know that he can score as well, right? And with relative ease. So
yeah, I thought it wasn't Spider. Yes, Endro is a different person. For some reason, it said oh, that's right. The reason why I wanted to have a look at this game was because of the Skaven versus Skaven.
Yeah.
But Spider casted this game originally, so it was him that suggested it. I think a while ago. So that's why his name is in my head. But
Yeah. And wow, that ball is safe.
So yeah, Tector versus Endro. Sorry about that, guys. But yes, both teams have an apothecary and 3 rerolls, so there's no. I think this is a mirror match when it comes to what players have been chosen. If I'm right, they've both chosen the exact same player format. They've just chosen different skills on those players. We have a failed going for it, which is re-rolled. We have a re-roll turn 2 by Tector. Alright, he succeeds on that block. He's just trying to defend, make sure the... I mean, if... Endro would want to stall, but I would probably run the ball in right now if I were him.
Absolutely. I mean, it's... To score that quickly and to put the pressure on your opponent just means that...
And it is Tector's offensive turn at the moment. So just getting that score straight away. Especially since he's got the Fan Plus. He got the Fame roll at the start. Which means the kickoff can usually go in his favor.
And being on the receiving end of a blitz is so disheartening when your opponent is able to quickly run it in.
And as I've said before, I'm one to try and get those mind games into Blood Bowl to attempt to get my opponent to go on tilt. And getting a score immediately would definitely do that to someone.
And those are some really brave dodges that we are seeing here in the defensive team. I mean, that's like the 3rd dodge that goes wrong, right?
Yeah. And he does choose to run it in, like I said.
I would have done the same, to be honest.
I think everybody would have. Oh, and actually, no, there are people that would have stalled. I know some people personally who are very big on stalling.
And of course he goes for gut runners with his Red Ogres, which is also a good choice. Alright. So I think...
Both teams get an extra reroll, so that's actually something that I would say Endro would not be happy about, because Tector using up his reroll, one of his rerolls on that second turn, would have given Endro the advantage had he run out later. Alright. So he used his apothecary on alignment. So I'm not very... I don't agree with that. And then an immediate injury after that on another one. So injury followed by injury. So Tector is just coming back in force. He is pissed at what happened here, and he is going for those punches. He's going to take them out.
And he's also rolling his blocks without block first.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing as dodging with your Rat Ogre first and stuff like that. So he's a bit on the high rolling side of the game, right?
Oh, I mean, as you would be right after a blitz that got a score on your offensive half, he's tilting a little bit. He's immediately in a bit of that anger.
I think so, because the first thing he does after he's done with his blocks, he is picking up the ball without putting another tackle zone on the ball, which could really screw him over if he rolled double ones. And then there's only one tackle zone, that of the gut runner on the ball, is really not enough against other Reds who have agility 4 to pick it up in the tackle zone, right? Mm. So I think he might actually be a bit tilting, which I would understand if he was.
Oh yeah, I mean I would be. I mean I always tilt if someone gets a blitz. It's probably one of the things I hate most about kickoff events. See, a lot of people hate the rock. A lot of people hate the stun, the player riot thing that stuns people. I don't mind those usually because they've almost always gone in my favor. What I hate is that blitz, because that's one of the things that my teams. I've never been able to capitalize on a blitz for some reason. I don't know why, but every time I've gotten blitz, I've like put a player under the ball and it's been perfect, but then they miss the catch, they miss the pickup, or something stupid like that. Ooh, went straight for that ball carrier. Sorry, what turn are you up to? Because I know that yours runs a bit slower.
I should be just 2 seconds behind you, right?
Okay. So I'm up to a Rat Ogre blitz on turn 4 for Sneaky Vermin.
Yeah. So what I have to say is that Blitz is a really bad role on the table. I agree, but you can set up against Blitz, right? If you're really a safe player, you can set up against that, and you can make it very difficult for your opponent to capitalize on it.
But at the same time, if you're constantly setting up for the blitz, you might not be able to set up in ways that would help with that attack, like help getting that ball through. Because blitz is a rare occurrence. It is a rare occurrence. It's one roll on a specific roll on a 2d6 table where there's 11 other results that could happen.
On the other hand, Throw a Rock and a Riot are just as unlikely, but they can royally screw you over because you cannot set up against that, right? Yeah. You cannot set up against Throw a Rock. That's impossible. And I experienced this myself, if you get a Throw a Rock and you lose that kickoff event, and one of your players gets killed right away, just before the game starts, that's just really bad.
Yeah, that happened to me when I was versing Wood Elves. It was a Wood Elf team where it was like team value almost 2,000 for both sides.
Yeah.
And the tree was a level 4 tree or something like that with plus strength, or it had a lot of really good stuff, and the tree was killed, and the apothecary rolled into a death. But like first turn.
Yeah, I hate that about Blood Bowl 2. I don't know if I experienced that in Blood Bowl 1 or on the table. I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm a bit biased, but my last game against those goblins, one of my Black Bots got killed, and I had 2 injured linemen beforehand, and I saved my apothecary for the blitzers and Black Bots. My Black Bot got killed, and I rolled the apothecary into minus strength, which is essentially another kill roll, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know if that is happening more in Blood Bowl 2 than in Blood Bowl 1. Or
so we've got a foul happening here, and the foul ended up in a knockout. Though the foul was done by... Oh no, it was done by a lineman. I thought it was done by a leveled up player. We've already got 1, 2, 3 removals against Endro and none against Tector.
Yeah, that's true. And what you can see, what I think is quite good, is that I think it's Endro who is in the offense right now, right? That he takes it a bit slower. He could pressure a touchdown even more.
No, Endro is in defense. Endro is in defense.
So it's Tector, right? So I like that Tector now plays the clock, right? He's not rushing a touchdown as he could. Because he knows if he can get out on even score this half, it's not half bad for him because he lost to a blitz, right?
Yeah.
And he really can't afford to go down a touchdown going into the second half.
And if he keeps getting those removals on Endro, it'll make Endro's offensive half much harder to... Especially since Tector does have those 2 guard pieces.
Yeah.
Meaning his defensive line is a lot harder to deal with.
And I think that's a good choice here. I really like the way he plays this.
He's got the ball on the outside. He's making a nice cage. He's basing all of the enemy, almost all of the enemy pieces. There's only one piece that isn't based. His rat ogre is just a little bit stuck though. It looks like, to me, Tector is going for, not Tector, sorry, Endro is definitely going for a gang foul on that rat ogre. Because he's completely surrounded it with almost all of his players. He's just trying to get rid of the 1 or 2 that are around it at the moment. And I think he was going, oh. So, Tector lost one of his players to a foul, as in lost it to being sent off.
And to boot, it was not really that great of a foul because he didn't have... and he only had 1 supporting player next to that.
I'm definitely not... if I'm going to foul, I look for that 93% or higher.
Yeah, and you should, because if you get removed via a double, it's just too bad if the foul didn't work out.
But it's always horrible when you have an 100%, you foul someone into a stun and then get removed anyway.
Yeah. And now I think we are now going to see what happens to that ogre, and that's an armor break. Okay. And he pulled his Apothecary on that one.
Oh, he did?
He did.
Do that. He pulled his Apothecary on the Rat Ogre hit, so I'm going to go back for that one, so I can have a look at that. Was it a knockout, or...?
It was a knockout,
Okay, so, alright, so it was a knockout. He pulled his Apothecary to keep the Rat Ogre on the field. Not a choice I would have made, personally.
It's for him, it's an important piece, seeing as he already has someone injured, but
yeah.
On the other hand, I don't know. It's really early on, right? It's only turn 5, first half, so...
Oh, he doesn't have anyone injured. He has a player that's been ejected.
Oh yeah, sorry. It shows Abbas injured here. So the injury sign is over.
More Blood Bowl glitching.
Oh no, I looked into the wrong corner. It was me. All right.
All right.
And that's another armor break on the...
Yeah. So, but it wasn't a removal, it was just a stun, though. I don't think there's anything Endro can do to defend against the touchdown. Tector has definitely got it. Oh, sorry, the other way.
I do think so.
Yeah, no, I was right. Tector's definitely got it. It's hard when it's two Skaven teams going up against each other and you don't know which is which for sometimes.
I do dislike what he does with... Oh, I think he's going to run the ball, right? But I would have positioned my thrower before the gut runner because he leaves himself open. So if he rolls double skulls, his gut runner would be open for a blitz here.
Yeah.
And now he runs it in, right? Yeah, he does.
Yep. He's runned in.
All right.
His thrower does not get up from the knockout. So he's still down that thrower. Looking at... It's setting up now. I mean, there is still a chance for Endro to get another touchdown here.
Yeah.
Because it's Skaven, and he's got 3 turns to do it in.
And that's more than enough for Skaven, right? So I would have maybe tried to stall here, seeing as I would have removed some of those players already. I probably would have taken my chance with the stall here, because... yeah, 3 turns is just more than enough for a Skaven team to score with relative safety. So I don't know about that.
He is setting up his defensive line decently far back to try and mitigate the chances of that happening.
Yep, but also again not setting up against a blitz.
Alright.
I mean, it's unlikely to get 2 blitzes, but I have had that happen on my side. The game that I told you 2 weeks ago, where I won 6-0, I had 2 blitzes in favor of me. So
that's
stuff like that does, yes.
Oh, of course it does. It's gambler's fallacy if you believe that it won't. It's the same 1 in 12 chance each time.
Yeah.
So, or is it 1 in 12? Yeah, it is.
And when it does, it basically it's like over for you.
Alright, double skulls, reroll. They do have plenty of rerolls. They have enough for every single turn. Alright, the blitz stunned the gutter runner. Going for the ball,
So,
successful pickup.
But with the wrestling dodger, I guess, right?
Wrestling dodge, no. He picked it up with the strip ball dodge.
Ah, okay. So which I think is the better choice.
I'm on turn 6. Yeah, he picked it up with...
Yeah.
Picked it up with
Yeah, I'm behind.
Gimpalot. Yeah, Gimpalot, who is the strip ball dodge. Then he attacks with his Ogre, who knocks down one of the linemen. And now he's just going for hits. Going for them punches.
Yeah, and he should.
Which, I mean, if you're against gutter runners, you always should. You should try and hit every single rat that's attached to you, because the chances of them going down are decently high. And Skaven players, even if Skaven coaches, even if the particular player they're using doesn't have dodge, they are still more likely, due to being Skaven, to attempt the dodges. Because I've seen it, where they're agility 3 linemen who have the same... we've got a attempted blitz by the Rat Ogre, followed by a failed reroll from Loner.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And that, boys, is why we always say, don't blitz with your big guys.
Yep. The only reason I blitz with my big guy is to get them to move if they absolutely have to.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes they are really the only ones who are able to do anything, so that's fine then. But if your blitz goes with, then it's really bad for you.
But anyway, the amount of times that I would never have made... Ooh, another double skulls. Yep, and that's the turnover. Double skulls, reroll into block. And that's what you get for attacking a block player with a lineman that doesn't have block.
And he let his gut runner open again.
Yep.
He did not move it first.
And he can't get the touchdown. Could he? Well, he could get the touchdown, but it's very unlikely. Oh, and we've got a failed going for it. Reroll, success. But yeah, a lot of ones have been happening in this last tiny bit. These last 3 turns. I've seen a lot of, and here we go, a blitz on the ball carrier, and got to run and knocked out. Ball carrier down. So this is, as you said, he left it wide open.
Yeah. And I think that is really a mistake we have seen twice now.
Yep.
But from both players, right? So, and if you get screwed over, and screwing over is something that will happen to you, and that I'm guilty of as well. I've been on the stupid part as well.
I'll say I think a lot of what people do with Skaven is they play too quick, because Skaven's being a fast team to play. They're trying to. It's almost like they see the team as fast, so they almost think they need to make their decisions quickly, when you could move just as slowly and think just as slowly with Skaven as you could with any other team.
That's true.
Like I see people, and they'll also do more risky things that you probably shouldn't do, like using a lineman to make dodges and going for it.
Yeah.
Through.
But I have to say. You're absolutely right, and I have to say, as a Skaven coach myself, and I've coached them to quite some success in the last few seasons of the TBL, I have to say Skavens tempt you to play a bit reckless, because you have 4 times dodge, you have block twice at least,
and we have a touchdown again by Endro on the same half, the attacking half of Tector,
which is really nice for me.
Yeah, it's really. You could almost. I mean, they've got an entire half to make it back, but
yeah,
this is now Endro's attacking half.
That's some stress put on him.
Definitely. I wouldn't say that he'd be able to take it back. Like,
it's going to be difficult. Let's put it like that. It's going to be difficult. Right?
Incredibly difficult.
Yeah, as I was saying about having those skills on your Skaven team, it's tempting to be reckless, because you're thinking like most of the rolls you do are pretty safe, right? Even if you have to dodge with a gut runner within one tackle zone, you're still at the 3+ and you have dodge, right? So it's tempting to make those little mistakes. So I do get that people play like the way you just mentioned, and it kind of screws you over. I have had that happen to myself, so.
And then we have the pitch invasion happen as well. And this is where we see that Endro, who won the fame roll at the start, has an advantage here, because none of his players are stunned, while 2 of Tector's players are stunned because of that extra... it only takes a 5+ to knock down Tector's players, while a 6+ to knock down Endro's. And then there's a touchback as well. So everything is in Endro's favor.
Plus the double skulls right now.
Yep, bam.
So that's like number 4 or 3 or 4 double skulls.
But he still pulled through. He used his reroll, and he used a block player to blitz.
Yeah.
So there's the safety. Though without that reroll, you'd probably want to lay off any of the more risky rolls until you get that defense around your your ball carrier. So if we look, he's actually got an okay cage at the moment, even as it stands. He just needs to get someone on that storm vermin standing in the corner. That it's almost like he hasn't realized it's there. And there we go. Yeah. That storm vermin is now. Ooh, putting a gutter runner on the side like that, that's a very dangerous. Even if it is sort of protected, it's... Ooh. An injury, that rat ogre. Getting rid of one of those linemen. So that's... Those removals just keep coming for both sides. Both sides are now down 2 players. So they're even on those removals, which... We've got a defense by Tector.
I think... Oh, another removal.
I haven't seen that removal yet.
Yeah, it's up and coming for you.
Okay, let's have a look at it. So it's the storm vermin. Yep, here we go.
Yeah.
Yep, injury. Bam. It's definitely a blow, but again, Endro definitely has an advantage. So. Have a wild animal, which is why I don't like those big guys.
Indeed. And that's why you put block on big guys.
Yep. So marking a big guy with a big guy just to be safe.
So you see now switching sides?
It actually looks like it. Why would he not go? I mean, he might think that he just needs to keep the ball away from Tector and not bother going for another reroll, another touchdown. Just play keep away. If I was in his position, I would not have done what he is doing now.
No,
I would have just gone for another touchdown just to get that extra.
Absolutely. I mean, he could have just simply blitzed away the gutter runner, clear up Venom on the sideline, and then just make 2 dodges with his gutter runner, which he's absolutely capable of.
More than capable of. It would be double ones to be able.
Yeah, and being up 2 touchdowns would have pretty much secured the game for me, right?
Yep. It wouldn't. It maybe Tector could have brought it back, but I would have doubted it extremely.
Yeah, because of course he gets to score against, but after that you get the ball again, and you can pretty much just play it safe from there on. You can just cage it like crazy, and your opponent is not going to.
Because it's going to take at least 2 turns to get that for your opponent to get that score. So that's another 2 turns down.
I do like the choice to put the red ogre next to the ball carrier, though.
Of course. That prehensile tail will cause problems.
Yeah.
Especially since he's got other players around the ball carrier that will stop it from being able to dodge through those squares.
And he's got the guard guy on the red ogre, so even if he stands up and blitzes, he's down one at least.
Going for a foul on that rat ogre with a gutter runner.
I like that. Wow, and that is superb for him.
Yep, and with a knockout, that is better than he could have asked for, and no ejection either.
So it looks like switching sides really is going to bite him here.
Yeah, definitely. I don't actually. I understand his thinking, but I don't understand why he thought that would be the best option versus going for another touchdown. If he'd gone for another touchdown, I think it would have secured the win.
Yeah, I completely concur. Absolutely.
Failure by the prehensile tail. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered. It was a 6.
And again, he's open to being blitzed with that gutter runner as it stands.
Mm-hmm. Is he going to get some defense in there, or is he just going to leave it open? Oh, failed dodge, and he was attempting to get some defense in there, but...
Yeah.
So at this point, Endro could get that ball back. Oh, sorry, Tector could get that ball back.
And there he goes, man marking the ball carrier, and I guess he's going to block open a path to this ball carrier, right?
Oh, and we've got another removal because of the rat ogre doing a nice big smack. So now Endro is down a 5 players, one of them being his rat ogre.
And he can just blitz the guy with ease with the Roger, right?
Yeah.
And
you've got to think, none of that would have happened had he scored.
Absolutely. And there it is. Removal. Or not removal, no, but the ball is...
Yeah, the ball is out, and it is in a perfect place for Tector. Right on that side of the field.
Wow.
And he's got all of Endro's players boxed in on that left side, so all he just needs to do is get one of his gutter runners or anything just to come down, pick up the ball, and run it through.
And I think we are just going to see right that.
Yep. He's going to make sure he boxes all of the opponent in on the left side, which is the perfect move there.
And he pushes the gutter runner towards which is really good.
Into that prehensile tail. And there's no way for that, nowhere for that gutter runner to dodge out through. One of the gutter runners has made it out.
It's going to be difficult.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, he's going to have one die blitz if he's lucky, right?
Yeah.
And those rolls keep screwing him over.
Yeah. And he's only got one reroll left. It's only been 3 turns.
He's got a 1 die. Yeah, it's going to be 1 die. He forgot to. Oh no, he blitzed with the other guy.
Yeah, he blitzed with the Storm Vermin. Oh, was that a lineman or a Storm Vermin? Blitzed with the lineman to get it out, just to put some pressure on the ball, but he didn't get it into the correct place, and now that gutter runner can again just zip through.
And there's a removal. No,
it's just a stun. Just a stun.
Sucks. But this is turning out to be a pretty intense and interesting game. Because when he lost the ball, I thought he would be done in, right?
Yeah. He's definitely got fight in him. So Endro would definitely be kicking himself in this situation, going, I should have gone for that touchdown. I should have gone for the touchdown. Getting that rat ogre next to the ball. Oh, yeah, it's not looking too good for Endro.
Nope.
And we have another stun. Let's say only one of Endro's players is stunned so far, but I suppose that lineman wouldn't have been too much of a threat.
And I think it's an interesting choice that he keeps the ball on his dodge-only gut runner.
And doesn't give it to the I would have swapped it over to the blodge as well for safety.
Because he doesn't have a tackling opponent, right? So he is pretty safe with that.
Oof, and another double skulls. So that's 5 or 6 for all up in this game.
Yeah.
And we're going for a foul, even though he's sort of low on... Actually, the opponent is very low on players, if he can get more of them out. No, failed. No ejection, though.
But that was lucky. If that guy would have been ejected, he would have had an easy 1 die blitz at least with wrestle and dodge, right? So that would have been bad.
Would have been bad indeed. But I understand his thinking. The opponent has 5 players out of the game. Any more would just be devastating. And he's also thinking for the future. So he's thinking, I can get a tie here, but if I remove more players and they stay off the field after the touchdown, that'll mean for the ability to get another one and possibly secure the win.
So he's going for a 2 die blitz?
Yep. Oof, with no reroll though.
Yeah,
that doesn't pay off. And he pushes him closer to the line. I mean,
I don't know if I would have pushed him.
No, yeah, because now he can use his thrower to hit the gutter runner.
Yeah.
And make it possible to dodge to the side. Do not, if he doesn't follow. Ooh. Yeah, if he blitzes with his gutter runner, I think he could push Elf Slayer to the corner and then dodge out to the top right.
But he decides to play it out a bit differently.
I don't know.
I see what he's doing. That's interesting. It's cocky, but interesting. So he's just caging, right?
Yep. So he cares more about securing a draw than a win.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That play tells you that he's not going for trying to win the...
All right, we've got a stun and an ejection, but he's still got that cage.
Yeah.
So yes, that 100% proves that he's thinking, I'm not going to try for the win. I'm just going to go for a draw.
And I do like the position of the Red Ogre because he threatens to serve that Gut Runner with Rog.
Which is even more removals on Endro.
Yeah.
Alright. I mean... Can't hit. Oh! No, he's fine. Unfortunately for Endro, he's just not getting those removals on Tector. Just like, unlike how Tector's been getting them on him. Blitzing with the Rat Ogre. Not sure I would have been game to do it that way.
But it works out. I mean, yeah, now he's just moving his cage forward, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to score. I mean, it's taking the safe route, not losing his game, right?
I mean, personally, I'm a bit disappointed in that decision. Because he's not he's not in the very top, I believe. While if he had the win, he might have actually had a shot of winning the league.
Yeah.
But instead, he went for the safe. So it's I'm under the belief of if you have a chance of winning, go for the win.
Especially in a format like a tournament that is a one-shot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to play in a league system and you might be more interested to build up your team for a season, that's perfectly fine to do it like that.
Yeah,
right?
no,
If it's about winning the whole thing, yeah.
But if it's a one-off tournament, you got to go for. There's no point in going for anything less than the gold. I don't know. And I think he could have made it too if he had gone for it.
Yeah.
But now all he's got a chance of making is that tie. Which I think, is he going to do it now or is he going to stall again? Oh,
no, I think he's going to stall another turn because he doesn't want to give his opponent the opportunity to one-turn him, right? Because Skavens are perfectly capable of doing
they are with those chain pushes.
Yeah, and he's got the Red Ogre for 2 pushes, so... no, he doesn't have the Red Ogre, sorry.
No.
That
Oh, and he killed his opponent. that poor gutter runner is very, very dead. Which is yet another removal on Endro. So Endro only has what? Only has 6 players on the field total, with most of those players being down the other side of the field, or 2 of those players being down the other side of the field. So he's only got 3 active, useful players, or 4. Sorry. Oh, he had an extra bench, so he's got 6. All right.
Now he's going for the ball carrier again.
So that's another removal against Endro, but the ball carrier is now out. Like the ball is out of.
Yeah, but still safe enough with gutter runners, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's got a reroll left, so that shouldn't.
But I mean, that's the best hope Endro could have had.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to just hit him, get the ball out, and hope for double ones or something.
And maybe even get the ball off the field so it gets thrown into a very unfortunate spot.
Yeah, that could have happened as well.
Yeah. So that's a 2-2.
Yep, 2-2. A tie. Got to run a tie. But I seriously think that could have been a win.
Absolutely.
For Endro. It could have been a win either way. If Endro had not made the decision to not make the touchdown, he would have had it. And if Tector had gone straight for the touchdown immediately, he could have had it as well.
True.
So
but I think nonetheless, it was a great game, right?
Oh, it was a fantastic game to watch. It was I think it was very tense and cool. But what I think is the tie came about from both players trying to play it too safe.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm going to put up the, you can no longer see the, alright, cool. The stream can not see the scores. And there was one other game that I'd been asked for, and apart from that,